and welcome back to another edition of Maddie's Rap. I'm your host, world-renowned author and storyteller, Matt D. Talford. Before I begin today's topic, which is regarding a phrase that I think everyone in existence is aware of, I would like to bring to your attention the importance of sitting quietly in meditation. Sitting quietly in meditation. Meditation, I think, is something that is not given enough emphasis, especially outside of the spiritual and holistic communities. I'm referring to church and the religious establishment in particular. We hear a lot of emphasis being placed on prayer, but nobody seems to really want to get into how to make that effective. And I've got a video that I would like to leave. Actually, I'll put a link in the description box below, but it talks about how to pray powerfully and the reason why so many prayers seem to go unanswered. So you guys can check that out when you get an opportunity. Again, I'll leave a link in the description box. But when we're talking about manifestation and meditation, because manifestation, if you will, is, and I really didn't even intend to say that. That came out of me, so I guess I need to talk about it for just a moment. Manifestation is what lies at the end of the road of meditation. Here's what happens when you sit in silent meditation. And let me just briefly touch on what that is. And this was something that was explained to me in a yoga studio years ago. Shout out to my girl Maria if you see this video at all. Maria was my first yoga instructor, and she's my all-time favorite yoga instructor. Maria, you know who you are. One of the things she went over in yoga class was that meditation really isn't difficult to do per se, and that the real challenge is just emptying your mind and not thinking about anything. Observing thoughts as they come in and letting them move on out. Observing what comes in and letting it move through you. So what I believe happens when you are meditating is that you are sitting silently, not thinking about anything in particular, and then you begin to receive communication from your higher self. Now, the concept of a higher self may be foreign to you if you, again, are stuck with those religious chains on your mind and you think that you, the person that you see in the mirror, is all there is, and that there's you and then there's God, and there's nothing in between those layers, those levels. The modern religious establishment would have you believe that God is up there or out there somewhere. But what did the Messiah say? The Messiah said that the kingdom of heaven is within you. So for all of the NASA fanboys, no disrespect to you, but people that are into NASA's presentation of what the universe is and all of this exploring of outer space, the people who really know explore their inner space. So with that said, I'm going to go into the information that I received from my higher self this morning in the pre-dawn hours, if you will, as I lie there just after having awakened and just meditated, just sat in silence and didn't think about anything in particular and just allowed the information to flow into me and through me. I'm going to talk to you about what the real meaning of the phrase, I love you, is when I come back after this short break. You're watching Maddie's Rap with author Matt D. Talford. Welcome back to Maddie's Rap. I'm author Matt D. Talford. And before I get into today's topic, I would first like to thank those of you who are my new and returning subscribers. You guys are the salt, if you will, on the meat, okay? You guys are the salt in the dish. You guys are the sugar in the cake. You guys, with your comments and your feedback and the positive energy and positive vibes that you send, not to just me, but to the others that watch this channel, it means everything. It really does mean everything. And so I really do appreciate you guys. If this is your first time clicking on me, thank you for watching. I hope that you will like this video and like the content that I've delivered. I've gotten a lot of compliments from people who don't always comment. For whatever reason, those reasons are their own. But I've gotten a lot of compliments on the content, and I say all the time, I cannot take credit for anything. This information does not come from me. It comes through me, and I learn from it too. I go back and watch these videos often as reference material. So I invite you to go through my playlists, to go through my library of videos, and just look at the titles, see what resonates with you, and click on it and watch it. I think it'll be something that you can learn from and benefit from. So, and by the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you would, please do me a huge favor. Help me out by giving this video a thumbs up. Just clicking the like button for me. It really does help this video to propagate across the platform. Videos like these tend to be a little bit more challenged than the standard stuff like, fashion and cooking and gaming and travel and vlogs and all of that stuff. So when you're doing this type of content, it really does need help from you guys, the viewing community, to get it out there. So you can get it out there in a few ways. One, you can like the video. Two, you can share it. And three, of course, subscribing always helps. So now, without any further ado, I'm going to get into what you're really saying when you look at someone and say, I love you. Now, you guys that watch my videos, you know that one of the last things I say before signing off all the time is tell somebody you love them and mean it. How do you mean it? You have to show it. Love is a verb. It is a noun as well, but when we take care of the verb, the noun always takes care of itself. I say that all the time. Love is energy in motion. You have to place it in motion. The way you put it in motion is not simply by saying it, it is by showing it. But now I'm going to show you exactly what I believe you're saying when you speak the words, I love you, and why sometimes it's difficult for people to utter those words. So let's get into it. The real meaning of I love you. First off, I want to look at the object of the phrase, I love you. The love is the verb. So the object that receives that verb is the word you. Now, I want to break down the word you using original Hebrew. Original Hebrew. Now, if you look at original Hebrew, and I'll put the Paleo script on the screen for you guys to see what the name is of God. One of the names from the Hebrew Bible, one of the names from the ancient Hebrew text, the scriptures for the Most High God. And I don't want this to be a linguistics battle. There are those, of course, that have different names that they use across different languages. I want to deal with the original Hebrew. Why? Because the original Hebrew language is one that does not have vowels represented in the character set. What does that mean? That means that it is a vibrational language. Consonants produce vibrations. Vowels produce wind. A, E, I, O, U. That is wind. That's air. The only vibration that you would get from those sounds is from my vocal cords. But otherwise, they're not creating any vibrations, any powerful vibrations. The powerful vibrations are created by consonants. So let us deal with the original Hebrew, where there are 4 characters, okay? And you can see them on the screen here. The first, and original Hebrew, or Hebrew, is read from right to left, as opposed to English and the Western languages, which are read from left to right. Might be a reason for that. There are a lot of people in the spiritual community that says everything has been taught to us in reverse, right? So anyway, maybe the left-handed people had it right all along, writing from right to left. I'm kidding. Love my lefties. I hate playing them in sports. But anyway, now, 4 characters in the name of the Most High God from original Hebrew. The Yah, the ha, the wa, and the ha. The ya, the first character on the right, or some people call it yod in modern Hebrew. I'm just going to deal with the sounds. In fact, I want to break this down in the same way that children learn to read. So, when you learn to read in preschool or pre-kindergarten or kindergarten, the way that they teach you to read is they show you the letters from the alphabet and they have you make the sound that letter makes. So, for example, when they're teaching you the letter A, they have you pronounce either A or A. They'll show you the long sound, the short sound. When you get to B, what does the sound B makes? B. What does the sound C makes? K. How do you say cat? You sound it out. K, A, T. Cat. And then you put it all together. So we're going to use that same format here with the name of the Most High using the original Hebrew. First letter on the right, the sound it makes is Y. Second letter from the right, the sound it makes is H. H. An H sound. H. H. First one is a Y sound. Y. Second one is an H sound. H. The third character from the right is a W. Wah. I won't get into what those represent. I don't want this to be a lesson in pictographic Hebrew. So we're just going to make the sound. That third character you see makes a W sound. W. And then the final character is a repeat of the second character that makes the H sound. H. So when you put those together slowly, you have Y, H, W, H. Y, H, W, H. So some people pronounce the name of the Most High God Yahweh. Some people pronounce it Yahuwah. Yahuwah. Yahweh. 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 Okay? So, if you were to pronounce that rapidly, I'm going to start slow and then I'm going to speed it up. Yahweh. Yahweh. Yahuwah, 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 you. When you speed it up, Yahuwah becomes you. Yahuwah, you. When you run it all together without the staccato, you have you. The sound you. You watching this video, okay? You. I love you. So when you slow that down, what you're really saying is, I love the Most High God. I love God. When you tell someone I love you, what you're really saying is, I love God. Now, let me give you another example. My name. I received as a gift years ago a name badge that had my name, Matthew, showing that or illustrating that it is a derivative or derived from ancient Hebrew, Matthew. Okay? If you were to break Matthew down in ancient Hebrew, it would probably be Matthew. Now, ma in ancient Hebrew, m is the sound that ma makes, which is the representation of water. Okay? Drop the A sound. We're not dealing with any vowels. Drop the A sound. The next consonant you have is the th. TH sound. th. The th is represented by crossed sticks, which simply means a covenant, a sign, a mark. Okay? So a covenant, a sign, a mark is an agreement. A covenant, agreement. When you sign your name to something, or you put a mark on a piece of paper where it says sign here, you are agreeing to something. So when you take water, which represents life, you've got no life without water. When you take which is water or life, you add it to th, which is an agreement or a covenant, and then you add the name of the Most High at the end. What that simply means is exactly what that gift that I received, that placard that said Matthew means gift of God or gift from God. Is not water or the promise of water or the promise of life from God a gift? Now, if you ask my mother and the people who know me closest, they will tell you that I have lived up to the meaning of that name. They'll tell you, hey man, wow, Matt is always somebody who speaks life into people. He speaks life into things. He's always livening up the room, livening up the room, life, promise of life from God, gift from God. So I wanted to use my name as an example of how these things come together, how we break them down. Matthew, Matha, Yahuwah. You can break that down into three parts: water, covenant, God, promise of God, promise from God to give water. Water's life, gift. It's a gift. So it makes sense. Now, we want to get back to the original. I love you. Okay, we broke down what you is if you slow it down and pronounce it using ancient Hebrew or Paleo Hebrew. And then when you take the Paleo Hebrew name, Yahuwah, and speed it up and keep repeating it until it sounds like you, we know what we're saying there. I love you. I love God. But what does the love part mean? Let's break that down. The modern Hebrew word, modern Hebrew. I won't get into that. I did a whole video on my frustration learning or attempting to learn modern Hebrew. I won't get into that right now. I'll put a link in the description box below if you guys want to know why learning modern Hebrew has been a frustrating experience. And I did that video like 2 years ago now. But anyway, the modern Hebrew term for love is ahava. Now, y'all know I typically do not use the V sound when I'm practicing my Hebrew. I make it a point not to use a V sound, and I make it a point to use the B sound because in original Hebrew, there was no V sound. That is something that was added after the fact. And I won't get all into this because some people get up in their feelings and they want to know this. We're not doing that today. We're not doing that. Okay. The modern Hebrew interchanges. It takes the same character, and based on the presence of a dot or no dot, you have a sound that can be b or a sound that can be v. But the original Hebrew was b, and it was the sound that is made by the character that represents a house. Ba. They call it bet now, but it was ba. The ba was the tent floor plan. It was the floor plan of a tent or the floor plan of a house. So the representation, the character, the pictographic representation was a house. So I won't be saying ahava. Again, to me, V is a low vibration. It is a much lower and weaker vibration than the B sound. Do you tell somebody, be well? Hey man, I want you to be your best. Or do you tell somebody, I want you to V your vest? If you were to do that, if you were to swap that out, if you were to swap out the B in best and B and replace it with a V, then which one has more power in it? I want you to V your vest, or I want you to be your best. The B sound has a lot more power to it. It is a much higher and more powerful vibration than V. So the addition of the V, I think that was done on purpose, but I won't get into that right now. That's just my own opinion. Everybody's got one. Everyone's entitled to one. Now, ahaba. Ahaba is the word for love. But we can break that down, right? Let's break that down into two parts. Ahaba. Let's break it down into aha and then ba. Aha. 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 Is that not the sound that is made when we see something that was lost to us, or something that was not understood, or something that was missing, but is then revealed or made known? You forget and you're like, man, what? Aha! That is a universal expression, and it is understood universally. It is understood because the sound is universal and the expression is universal. So you and I don't even have to speak the same language. But let's say, I don't know, I'm on a hike or something and get lost, and then I end up in some tribal region somewhere where I don't speak their language and they don't speak mine, and we're each trying to help each other understand the other. And I tell the person I'm thirsty, and I say to him, I'm thirsty, I would like some water. Do you have any water? I'm thirsty. And he's looking at me, what is he saying? And I say, I thirsty, water, please. Then he said, aha. And then he brings me a canister with some water in it. And hopefully it's filtered. Because their stomach might have some different, probiotics in it than mine do. And it can handle that water. But anyway, I'm joking. But aha, when I see him say aha, then he knows what I'm talking about. I'm saying, what water? Aha. Or if I say, I don't have to speak his language. I can say, aha. Then he gets that I understand what he was trying to express to me. And then there's some nodding, maybe some little brief celebration or whatever. So aha is the revelation of something that was not previously known, okay? Or was not previously seen. Aha. Aha is the sound we make when something is discovered that is lost to us, or something that was not understood and is now made known. Aha. You got it. Aha means I got it. Oh, aha. There it is. There it is. Now, when you combine that with ba, house, home, okay? We understand that the aha combined with the energetic expression that goes with it is universally understood regardless of the spoken language or tongue. I said that already. So, when you want to talk about the word ahaba, you have the revelation of home. Now let me put that in perspective. I wrote my notes down. Let me go from my notes. So the word love is the lingual representation of the same energy you might feel when returning from a days-long journey on foot, on horse, or on camelback, and you see your home in the distance and finally arrive there. So aha is revelation, ba is home. You have to understand that with ancient Hebrew was a practical language. It had meaning. Words actually had meaning. They weren't just things that were on paper that someone assigned a meaning to and said, this is what this means. Ancient Hebrew was a universally understood language that when everybody spoke it, they knew it because it was originally based on pictographic symbols, kind of like the original Egyptian tongue, hieroglyphics, things that people understood, things that were practical. If you look at the language chart of the original 22 characters from ancient Hebrew, you'll notice that there is an agricultural theme to it. You notice that there's a very agricultural and home theme to it. I won't get into that. That could be a whole other lesson by itself. So when you combine the expression that you feel when something is finally revealed with aha, with ba, home, picture someone returning from a long journey on foot, horseback, or camelback. It's treacherous journey. Maybe they were getting low on food. Maybe they were getting low on water. And they come over that final hill, and down in the valley in the distance, they see their home. How do you think that makes them feel? And then finally, when they cross that last expanse of land or territory and arrive at their front door, that feeling that not only they feel, but the feeling that the people inside the house feel, especially if that is the man of the house or the woman of the house. You hadn't seen your mother in days because she went on a long journey and then she returns home. The feeling that you feel when you see her, or your daddy, same thing. Or you've been on some of you travel right now. Some of you work corporate jobs and you travel. There's nothing like getting off that plane after being gone a week or two and seeing your house. And I don't care how nice that hotel was and how many 5-star restaurants you ate in, you would much rather be sitting in your house eating a peanut butter sandwich and looking at your television or reading books in your library than being out on the road. It's that feeling, that warm feeling, I'm home. Ahaba. So that expression encapsulates that feeling, that energy. Now, so you take that feeling, that energy, and you place it with you. I love Ahaba, you, God. What you're really saying is, I have this deep, warm, energetic feeling that is understood to be the equivalent of arriving home after a long journey and seeing your house after a long journey, seeing your family in your house after a long journey. That feeling that you feel combined with the word that represents the name of the Most High God. What you are in effect saying is, I love God. Now, when you're looking at somebody and you say, I love God, what you are doing is you are seeing, the God in them. So you can take this as I get ready to wrap this up. You can take that I love you and you can cross-check it with one of the things that they speak that is spoken at the end of every yoga class that I've ever attended. The instructor typically says, she speaks these words, she or he say, the light in me, that light, that divine light source, that deep internal divine light source, the light in me sees and honors the light in you. And then they say namaste, which means the same thing. It basically means I see God in you. I honor God in you. The light in me sees the light in you. The light in me honors the light in you. So that is really what you are saying when you say, I love you. You're basically telling someone you're speaking to the God in them. You're not speaking to this embodiment. You are speaking to the God in them when you say, I love you. This is why people that speak those words with lying lips have so much bad luck. Because the God in them knows if that person that is speaking those words truly sees it and honors it and has that same warm feeling, that warm energy toward it. This is why you are able to compartmentalize like and love. You have no control over things that you like. Some people like coffee. It's coffee. And some people hate it. Some people do not. Some people despise coffee. They don't like the taste of it. They don't like the smell of it. Okay. Some people like pinto beans. Some people don't. I love pinto beans. Some people like lima beans. Some don't. Please do not put any lima beans in front of me. I'd rather just eat plain bread. I don't like lima beans. I don't care what you do to them. I've never liked lima beans. I don't like them now. You can't make me like them. I have no control over that. I don't have a palate for lima beans. If I could make myself like them, I probably would. But I have no palate for them. So we are not judged on the things that we like and dislike because we have no control over that. We are judged on whether or not we see and honor the God in somebody else, whether or not we choose to. The fact that that person is a living, breathing soul encapsulated in the body speaks to the fact that there is some level of divine light in them. Now, those levels may vary based on your energetic vibration or your emotional vibration. I put those maps on the screen all the time in all my videos. I'll do it here again. The higher you vibrate, the more magnetic you are. The lower you vibrate, the more you repel high vibrational beings, whether they be plants, animals, or people, and the more you attract low vibrational beings, because like attracts like oftentimes. That's why I always harp on this channel about keeping your vibrations high. If you want to know how to keep your vibrations high, look at the vibrational frequency map and map those emotions to those different vibrational frequency levels. What is the energy I'm in right now? Am I happy or am I sad? If I'm sad, identify why I'm sad. Why am I sad? Figure it out and fix it to get your vibrations back up. When you're high vibrational, it's tougher for you to get ill. When you're low vibrational, it's easy to get ill. Just is, okay? It just is. It's the way energy works. So I'm going to get ready to wrap this up. But before I do that, I'm going to give you a fun contrast, all right? Love. What's the opposite of love? Some people might say hate. It's not. It depends on what you're looking at. But the way I presented in my book, From Fear to Faith, The Survivor Story, I present that the opposite of love is fear. That's why I say from fear to faith. That's one of the reasons why I titled that book that way, because I want that to be a transition that people make when they experience some devastating news in their life. They can fear the worst, or they can have faith in the best and highest outcome. But that is not the contrast I'm looking for. I was actually looking for the contrast of what love is with regards to the romanticized presentation of love. The opposite of the romanticized presentation of love is lust. Now let's do one more word game here. Pardon me. And this is why I often say that the English and Western languages have done so much damage to the original vibrations of words that predated those languages by the introductions of vowels and dual but opposite meanings, dual and triple meanings that all mean something completely different. You can have two dual meanings, you can have two different meanings as long as they're the same family, people can kind of get it. But when you got two completely triple, dipple, all these different meanings, oh yeah, well you can use this word and it can be water or it can be gasoline. Really? Oh no, that's not even a good one. It can be water or it can be dirt, because gasoline is liquid still. So you still liquid. I'm talking about you taking the same word for concrete and it could be either water that we drink or concrete that we use for pavement in the street. That doesn't make sense. But that's the kind of games English plays with all these different vowel placements and all this. But anyway, opposite of the romanticized presentation of love is lust, right? Now, let's drop the vowel from lust. What do you have left? You've got three letters, L-S-T. Now, what is lust really? Lust is a desire for something that you do not have. There is a similar word that has a different vowel, okay? That has a different meaning, but when you drop the vowel out, the vibration is the same, and then it has the same meaning. The word that has another four-letter word has the same vibrational match as lust without the U is lost. When you remove the letter O from lost and you remove the letter U from lust, you have the same word and the same sound. Lust, lust, lust. Pronounce it without the vowel. Pronounce lost without the vowel, you have lust. Pronounce lust without the vowel, you have lust. So, if lust is the desire for something that you do not have, that thing that you do not have is lost to you. Right? That thing that you do not have is lost to you. I can't lust after this cup of coffee because I have it. But if I see somebody else drinking coffee and it smells good and I don't have it, I may not say it, but what makes me get up and go order a coffee myself or create one is the lust for coffee that came from me smelling it and not having it and wanting it. We desire things that are lost to us, that we feel like we deserve. We feel like that we have. I feel like we should have. We desire things that we did have that somehow became lost to us and we want it back. That's lust too. It's just not low vibrational lust. The truth is, it's lost to you, so you want it back. But the meanings are different when you add the vowels in there. You're not lost. You're not lusting after. Look here. Here's my watch right here. If I take this watch off, walk out of here, somebody comes in here and removes it, and then I'm looking around for it, I'm not lusting after my watch, but I want my watch because it's lost to me. So you see how these vowels and the introduction of them, they really cast spells. Like they play tricks with your mind. Lust and lost is really the same word. It's the same vibration, but they put lust in there because lust is demonized, but lost isn't. Oh, well, no. You desire something that is not in your possession. If it is not in your possession, it is lost. So lost is, an adjective, if you will? Lost is an adjective. Lust is like a noun or a verb. But the subject is pretty much the same. It is something that is not in your possession. So, when you're saying I love you, when you take the O and the U out and you break it down using the Paleo or original Hebrew sound or vibration for the Most High God, when you say I love you, you are expressing a warm, energetic emotion to God. You are seeing and honoring the God in somebody else. This is why you have to be careful with I love you. And this is why I'll always say that. I say this in my friend circle. I don't say it on this channel, but I say this in my friend circle. I've never been somebody, and I'm not bragging to myself, I'm just telling you how I am. I've never been somebody to play with anybody's feelings, because I've always felt like that heart chakra is the most powerful of all the energy zones in the body, and that heart is a direct connection to the Creator. That is like the strongest source of divine source power and energy is the heart. You can hurt somebody's body and apologize and make it up to them. You can help them heal. If I bump into you and you fall down and hurt your knee or whatever, I can say, I'm sorry, but here, what can I do for you? Let me help you. I was a medic in the Army. Let me clean that up for you. Let me put a bandage on it. Let me dress it, put some antibiotic ointment or some Manuka honey or something on it to make sure it doesn't get infected. We've cleaned it out. We're going to dress it. Boom. Hey, listen, can I get you something? Let me help you sit down, put your feet up, whatever. And that's fine and well. But if I hurt someone's heart, I've done something to God, and God got to get me back. That's why I don't play with the heart. So when you say, this is why I always say, tell somebody you love them and mean it. How do you mean it? You have to show it. You have to love. It has to be experienced. When you break down that word ahaba, again, that aha, ba, there's my house. I've been gone for a long time. There's my family. That feeling, that energy, that ahaba, that is an expression. That is an expression. And then you understand why love, if you break it down like that, you understand exactly what that feeling is. So if you say, I love you, you have to mean it and you have to show it in order to get that energetic response, in order to produce that energy. And this is, I'm going to say this and I'm going to get off of here. This is why love is among the highest frequency. I think one above it is enlightenment, maybe enlightenment is above it. But after that, love is like the highest frequency. It doesn't get any better than love because it is truth. But if you say to someone, I love you, but you don't mean it, eventually you're going to hurt them. And then God got to pay you back because you're dealing with God when you're dealing with that heart. If I love you means I have this energetic, warm feeling upon seeing the God in you, and you're lying, then you're lying to God. All of us have God in us to some degree or the other. We are all expressions of the same divine source, the same creation source of all energy, the highest energy, the highest light. We are all different expressions of that have different purposes that we serve. So that's all I got for y'all today. I hope this lesson on the true meaning of love helps someone. Leave a comment below. If you like this, please, again, give me a thumbs up if you haven't done so already. And if you're new to this channel, please hit that subscribe button for me. And if you want to be notified when I upload new content, I got some new content coming this weekend. All right. Be sure to slide that notification bell up to all. And I know I've said this on a couple of occasions during the course of this video, but I'm going to say it one more time. I'll leave the book stuff for later. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. If you guys want to see what I've written, you can click the links in the description box below. I promise you, you will be thoroughly entertained. You'll be, my work is uplifting. My work is uplifting. You're going to be entertained. You're going to be educated. You're going to learn something you didn't know, and you're going to be uplifted. Okay? Entertain, educate, uplift. That's what we do. That is what I do. Okay. So you can click the links in the description box to read synopses. And if you guys haven't done so already, check out my blog, www.mdtalford.com. All right. There are things that I express in writing that I don't always cover on this channel. So if you want to read the thoughts of my heart some days, or some of the other downloads I get that don't make it to video, check out my blog, mdtalford.com. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being a valued participant on my channel. And you guys have a great day and or night, evening, whatever time you're watching this. And I love you guys. Peace.